Alright, so ribs ain't supposed to fall off the bone, but peep that pull out game. Oh my lord. Crazy. Yeah, this thing about to fall off the bone almost, but that sauce is crazy. Woo!
I do my thing in the kitchen. My name is Cord, I'm for the culture, and I'm here with a vision. We here to talk, chop it up. They say the odds are stacked against us. We ain't seen that bet. And the things we do in kitchens, y'all ain't seen that yet. Yes, Lord, let me talk. Listen, man, we here for a good time, not a long time. Matter of fact, we here for a great time. You know, Turned in the Kitchen Culture Podcast.
Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making some oven-baked ribs with a peach crown royal sauce. So if you've not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and also hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so let's get into these ingredients real quick. So, to make these ribs, it's a pretty hands-off process once we get this in the oven. So what we got is a full rack of St. Louis style spare ribs. So we're going to remove that membrane. Now, to season this up is real simple. So all we're going to need mustard for a binder. Y'all know I love mustard. Like, mustard is good for frying, it's good for a binder. Anyway, yeah, we're going to use this. We got some melanated sugar, smoked paprika, and if you're new to the channel, look, I'm gonna just explain this. Always spend the extra $1.50, whatever the case, and get smoked paprika instead of the regular paprika. Reason being because you actually get a little bit of flavor as opposed to just enhancing the color profile of like your dish. Then we're gonna hit it with some garlic salt, a little bit of black pepper, and some all-purpose seasoning. So this right here is Mr. Make It Happen's all-purpose seasoning. I'll put the link in the description below for his, but also you can use any sort of all-purpose seasoning. All right, then last but not least, so we're gonna make our own barbecue sauce. All right, it comes out 10 times better. All right, so what we're gonna need, it's a few ingredients for this. All right, we're gonna use a good amount of some melanated sugar, right, and get some more yellow mustard, some peach nectar. Then we're gonna get some apple cider vinegar. This is gonna add that little slight tang that you have in barbecue sauces. We're gonna use just a pinch of this. We get a little bit of honey, or you can use maple syrup, whichever you prefer. We're gonna squirt in some ketchup, a little bit of liquid smoke, some hoochie sauce, because I literally don't know how to pronounce this, so it's hoochie sauce. You get your favorite preserves, jelly, jam. I would say in this case, since we're going peach, you get you some peach preserves. If you can't find that, what I ended up getting was some sweet pineapple red pepper jelly. Just find a sweet jelly that works. And last but not least, this is optional, but it does kick up the flavor on this, right? So we're gonna add some peach crown. It's gonna cook off, you're not gonna get lit, none of that. It's just gonna be a good flavor, all right? So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so now that we've gone through the ingredients, let's go ahead and get into it. So first things first, we wanna remove the membrane on this. So removing the membrane, what it does, it makes your meat less tough or more tender. That's a better way to put it. And you see that fatty part, we're just gonna cut it a little bit. Try to preserve as much of the meat as possible. And all we're gonna do is just take our hand, peel that junk back. And again, if you have a little bit of leftover, I wouldn't stress it. Now, if all else fails, have the butcher do it at the store. It'll take a couple minutes and they ain't gonna charge for it. But here, let's go ahead and get off into it though. So first, what we're gonna do is get our binder. All right, get the mustard, get that on there. You will not taste this mustard when we get done cooking this, I promise you. All right, so we got the garlic salt. Yeah, so make sure you get every single bit of these ribs covered, all right? Come through with some black pepper. So far, you don't hear no measurements, and that's really just because I go off of a vibe when I cook. You know, whatever you want to call it. You can say discernment, you can say the ancestors, whatever. But the idea with cooking, I want you to be able to get comfortable in the kitchen. Trust your own judgment. So we're hitting this with the all-purpose. And by the way, this is a low sodium all-purpose seasoning. So for those of y'all that might be a little bit on the sodium conscious side, rest assured you're still gonna be fine. Some of that smoked pap. All right, and then half of our brown sugar because we're gonna put some on the other side as well. All right, so just go ahead and pat everything on in. Make sure every piece of the ribs are coated, and then just repeat on the other side. All right, so what we're gonna do to cook this, so we still got our ribs on our baking sheet. We just put some foil underneath, and we're gonna wrap this thing on up, all right? Now this is just me, but I'm gonna add a little bit of this peach nectar in the foil as well. All right, and what you wanna do, just make sure you try to get around the edges so it seeps through on the bottom. That's gonna help a lot while this steams in the oven. All right, the best thing about this is you really ain't got to do too much. You know what I mean? Make your sides, go, well, no, don't run the air, but like do whatever you need to do. All right, so we're gonna throw this in the oven, 350 for about 2 to 2.5 hours. So our oven is preheated 350. We'll go ahead and throw these on in. And I'll see y'all in about 2 hours. If you're rocking with the recipe, then I know you're gonna love this. All right, so this recipe is also in my newest cookbook, Kitchen Culture. All right, so we got 90 recipes. Y'all look at me. Hey, all right, so we got anything that you could imagine, right? So we got Nashville hot chicken sandwiches. What else? Let me just crab boil ramen. You know, we got a whole snapper. Just anything you could think of. So the link will be in the description box below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get back to the recipe though, all right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make our barbecue sauce while the ribs are cooking. This is a real easy process. Like, dump everything in the pot, and then we're good to go. So we're gonna start off with our ketchup. So we're gonna get about a cup worth of ketchup. And then we're gonna get some apple cider vinegar. I use capfuls when I measure, but otherwise you can do about a teaspoon. Some of that honey. So here with the honey, do this to your sweetness level, like to your preference. But if you wanna start with something, start with about a 1/3 cup. We'll go ahead and get some of the hoochie. Then we're gonna get some of this hickory liquid smoke. So liquid smoke, if you're unfamiliar, it just gives it a smoky flavor, you know. Since we're not cooking it outdoors or smoking this, it'll give you a similar vibe, all right? Gonna get some mustard. All of this melanated sugar, all of it. That's gonna help with, of course, the sweetness of the sauce, but it's gonna help thicken this up as well while it's simmering. All right, now if you really try to add a little razzle dazzle to the mix, we're gonna throw in some of that peach crown. This is not gonna get you lit, I promise you. All right, it's just gonna be it's gonna be flavorful. The alcohol cooks out, and then what it does is enhances everything else. All right, last but not least, we're gonna throw in some of this jelly as well. So now, all we do, so we done turn our burner on to like a low setting. We're just gonna go ahead and whisk everything around. And it's like the easiest thing ever. All you gotta do now is just let this simmer. So while the ribs is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and throw this on a low setting, cover it on up with a lid, and then just let it hang out for a little bit. Let me get my lid just so we can put that in there. All right, so we just took the ribs out the oven, so let's go ahead and uncover this real quick. Ooh, look at that. The crazy part about this is they pretty much already done. They pretty much already done at this point, but just to go ahead and really reinforce that barbecue flavor, what we're gonna do, we got our sauce over here, and just go ahead, spoon some over the top. Now what we're gonna do is use maybe about 1/3 to half of the sauce that you got, because we're just gonna save the other part for when everything's finished. So the cooking part is already done. So all we're doing is now, I got the oven on broil, it's on a high broil, and we're gonna do this for about 7 to 10 minutes, just depending on your oven, but we'll start at 7. So we're throwing these in the oven just for 7 minutes, and what's gonna happen is that sauce is gonna start to adhere to the ribs, or in other words, it's gonna stick to the ribs and crystallize. It's gonna be beautiful. So I'll see y'all in a few. So now we're just gonna go ahead and finish it off with another little layer of that barbecue sauce. All right, so we're spreading this sauce over the top of these ribs. So we're just putting one last coat of that sauce on top, all right? So we got it sticky underneath from the sauce being broiled. All right, so ribs ain't supposed to fall off the bone, but peep that pull out game. Oh my Lord, crazy. Yeah, this thing about to fall off the bone almost, but that sauce is crazy. Woo. Alright y'all, so all that's left to do, go ahead and head out to the stove, grab these ingredients. It's relatively stuff that you already got at your house. And also, share this video with like 3 to 5 people, just let them know to like to pull up, because you're finna be cooking for them. And don't forget already, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below, so that way you can be tapped in with all the recipes and uploads to come. Alright, but I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. This is optional, but it does add, what I ended up getting was some
Yes, Lord, let me talk. You tuned into the Chef Cord in the kitchen. We here for a good time, not a long time. Matter of fact, we here for a great time. Yes, Lord, let me talk.